Maybe I should get those glasses. Hello darlings, welcome back to my channel. My name is Coralie and welcome to the review of the BPerfect x Stacey Marie Carnival for the Antidote Palette. Wait, let me get my notes out. Well, it's on my computer. If you guys don't know, about a week and a half ago as I'm filming this, I got this palette from Beauty Bay. I've been trying it out. I did a rating new makeup releases last month, I believe, and I saw this palette in there and I was like, I think I'm gonna get this. I'm going to present to you the palette, then we're gonna hit you up with a demo, and then I'm gonna tell you how I feel about it. This is the BPerfect x Stacey Marie, the Carnival for the Antidote Palette. It's their 4th collaboration together and it has 45 shades in there. There's 29 matte shades and 16 foily shimmer shades, right? This retails for $60.50. This is like Canadian dollars. The approximate price, if you take, you know, Canadian currency, is $1.34 per eyeshadow. So per pen, it's about $1.35, which is very, very fair. It's a very fair price. I just want to talk about the packaging really quickly. The packaging is big. I'm not gonna lie. Like, this is a palette. Whenever I rate packaging for certain things, I try to think about what the brand created this palette for. Like, what use did they create it for? It's overly explicit that Stacey Marie is a makeup artist. She teaches a lot of makeup classes. Her specialty is makeup on other people. She does do makeup on herself. I remember during the pandemic, she did so much makeup on herself because she couldn't have clients because of restrictions, you know. But she is someone who overtly does people's makeup, and that's her thing and that's her signature. And if you go on her Instagram, half of the pictures there, if not more, are client pictures, and she has master classes and things like that. Therefore, big palettes with big selections are really practical for makeup artists so that they don't have to travel with 17 palettes, one with like the green tones, one with the brown tones, and one with the orangier tones. You know what I mean? Although the packaging is bulky, it's not overly bulky. I don't know if you guys have ever owned a P. Louise palette. I know we don't support P. Louise anymore. I don't. I personally don't. I bought one thing from them and never again. And I had to depot everything because it was just like, it was not making any sense for me to have. Like, their palette was literally this thick. Like, I don't know if you can see this, their palette was literally this thick. And so although it's a big palette, it's not a bulky palette in any way, shape, or form. Like, I would be comfortable traveling with this. I would be comfortable, well, obviously, you know, it's gonna take some place in your luggage. Maybe this wouldn't be my first choice for traveling, but you know what I mean. Like, I don't think it would be the biggest challenge, and I feel like it's a very season appropriate palette, which means that to me they really released it at a good time because it was like right before fall. So, you know, people looking for a fall palette, they're looking for this. I'm going to introduce the demo. It's gonna be a light voiceover. It's gonna be very quickly. It's on how I did this look using this palette, and so cue the demo. Welcome to the demo. Well, that was quite dramatic. Let me start with my primer. This is the Makeup Revolution primer, and then I'm gonna go in with the palette and take the shade Pecan. I'm not sure how y'all English speakers pronounce it, but I'm just gonna pack that all over my crease in a roughly rounded shape. I wanted this eye to be a little more, you know, curvy. I don't know, that makes no sense. Then I'm gladly taking the shade October, which is a really deep, almost brick orange. Not brick red, but brick orange. And I'm blending out the shade Pecan with it just to, you know, start giving us that creamy orange, warm, rich shade. I don't know why I said it like that. Then I'm gonna take the shade Zest, which is actually much more of a mustardy brown when I look at the palette in real life than how it's looking on camera, but it's still a very, very pretty shade. So let's just blend out the edges. This is our very outer crease shade, so, you know, we love it for that. Next, I'm actually going to take the shade Dove. I didn't bother showing you, so it's going to be, you know, a little sticker on the screen. Then I'm taking Pretty Peachy and putting that in the center of the cut crease. And then finally, we're going to take the shade Spiced Coral and finish it off. I hope you guys enjoyed the demo. That was it. This was a fairly easy look to do. I feel like as soon as I do one eye, at least for me, doing the second eye took me about 10 minutes. If you guys are asking, how are you qualified, Coralie, in any way, shape, or form to review this palette? First of all, I've been doing makeup for a very long time. Well, very long. I would say 5 years. Approximately. I love eyeshadow. Eyeshadow is my favorite part of my makeup. It's something that I do literally almost every time I do my makeup. I do crazy eyeshadow, and I love crazy looks, and I'm obviously more known for crazier looks than I am known for like neutral looks. I always find a way to make something extreme even if it wasn't, you know? Maybe that's a skill, maybe that's a talent, we don't know. I've created 4 looks with this palette so far. I'm gonna put 1, 2, and 3 because this is the 4th. I did a look that was very, very neutral, much lighter. It was a soft glam look where I used the shades that were a little bit more in the center of the palette right here. And then I did a green look where I used a lot of the shades that were in this corner right here. Then I also did a more pinky look that hit the shades that were more in this part right here. And then today I did a warmer look hitting more of the shades right here. So I really tried with the different looks that I did to dip into every single part of the palette. Now I will admit there are some shades I haven't touched yet that I'm definitely gonna touch, you know, eventually when I do my makeup other times, but there's a lot that I haven't really touched on this palette because it is a 45 pan palette. It's huge, that there's a lot. But I do think that with the 4 looks that I've achieved, that I've tried a lot of different shades. From all my uses of this eyeshadow palette, the pigment is excellent. The shades are very, very pigmented, and the way I can tell you that the shades are pigmented is that to use the shimmers, you can obviously use your fingers, but I do like using brushes more often than not because it allows me to have a lot of precision. You know, if I don't need precision, I'll use my finger, that's fine. But I really like that these shimmers are so creamy that you're very easily able to pick them up with a brush and apply it precisely on your eye without losing the pigment. And I think that is so special, especially when I did my green look. I was like, oh my god, this is working so nicely. The shades appear as they do in the palette. Like if you look at a shade in the palette and put it on your eye, it's not deceiving. I haven't found it was deceiving. I also do tend to use like pretty light primers on my eyes to get like the truest color possible. Also, I haven't noticed any oxidization of the matte shades. I know that you can get oxidization with certain palettes. I've experienced it, trust me, and I haven't had any issues with this one. In all the looks that I did, I used 2 different primers, the e.l.f. Putty Eye Primer in the shade Cream, and I used the Makeup Revolution Ultimate Eye Base in the shade Medium. And I remember in my Beauty Bay haul, I mentioned that this might be a little too dark for me, but it actually turned out really well every time I used it. I used it twice, and I used this one twice. It's worked really nicely with these 2 primers. I haven't had any issues of creasing or any of that, so you know, wearability is giving, is definitely giving. I think that these shadows really blend easily. I haven't had any issues with them. Again, I always try to look at blendability with the perception that I've been doing makeup and eye makeup for about 5 years. I do know how to blend shadow, and even when shadow doesn't blend, I do know how to kind of make it work. And sometimes I do use palette like nowadays, and I use them and I'm like, this is not blending the way I want it to blend. But I never had that issue. With this palette, which honestly, I'm not gonna lie, because sometimes, you know how they say, oh, a good makeup artist can use anything. I do believe that to be true, but I also believe, why do we feel the need to receive less than because we can make it work? I think that you shouldn't have to work for your makeup should work for you. These were very easy to use, and I think that beginners, like amateurs like myself, and pros would really enjoy a palette like this, and I feel like it would fit many different demographics of people because the blendability and ease of use is simply there. One aspect that I kind of assessed while I was using this palette, and that's very important for me in all of the palettes that I review, is the creative potential and the color organization. I'm looking at my notes because it's really like, it's an important category for me. I just want to say, the color organization of this palette is absolutely supreme. There's nothing that unnerves me more than palettes that have no organization throughout. And actually, every time I see one of those palettes, I can't help in my mind but first of all want to rearrange it, but it completely like disconnects me from ever wanting to try out the product. And it's kind of twisted because I know that some people having a lot of adversity and like different shades in different positions helps them like conceptualize and like think harder about what things they should put together. I don't want to think harder. I want to do my makeup and that's that. Something that I really love is that although this is not a rainbow palette, it does have a logic order and a logic organization. I did mention it earlier kind of with the looks that I did, but as you can see, you get the oranges right here. You get the neutrals right here. You get the pink mauves right here. And you get all the green tones right here. And so it has a certain cohesion that makes it very, very easy for you to not only create looks that are cohesive, but to also sometimes kind of go out of the blue and create something that's maybe not with like sections that are right next to each other, but that you feel would really like clash together well. Next thing I also really like about this palette, if you look closely at this palette, there is really only one almost white adjacent shade, like this cream shade right here, and I really like that because I feel like a lot of palettes kind of do overkill when it comes to that light matte shade because they usually only cater to white people. I don't know if that was clear enough, but basically you don't need 1,000 different matte, light, almost white shades. You can just have one and it works perfectly fine for everyone. And I really like that they didn't do like an overkill amount of light matte shades in this palette. It's very precise, it's very nitpicky, honestly, of me, but I think I really like that, basically. I just have to say, I'm very satisfied with this purchase, and I actually also ordered the Love Tahiti palette. I haven't used that one yet because I've been trying to get as many looks with this one as I could for this video and to try it out and to review. Based on this formula, I'm extremely excited to try out the other palette, and I would say if you're looking for a fall palette, or if you're someone who just wants one big palette, you're going to use that at home, and it's going to be your palette forever, I think this one is really great. You get a bunch of shades if you want to do something more extra, but at the same time it still has the more neutral approach of the everyday person, and I just really like this. For a neutral palette, this is probably the least boring neutral palette I've ever seen, and I cannot wait to use this one again and again and again until my fingers fall off. This was truly something that I really enjoyed and really appreciated, and Stacey Marie did an amazing job. BPerfect did an incredible job. I feel like we see the artistry and we see all the work that was put behind it because it's so cohesive and it works. This is it. I hope you enjoyed this video. I haven't done like a makeup review in a while, but I just love trying out makeup and getting to do like 1,000 things with the makeup to show you how it works and tell you what I like and don't like about it. This was a very positive review. I have barely nothing negative. Oh my god, I forgot to tell you. Other thing I love, it has a mirror. I don't necessarily use that mirror that much, but I just like having the option to have one. If you enjoyed it, don't forget to give it a thumbs up. Also put in the comments section down below other video suggestions, things you'd like to see me do, other makeup palettes you'd like me to review. Girl, I am willing. I am wholeheartedly willing. Listen, as we can see, I love eyeshadow. I don't shy away from it. If there's a palette you want me to try, leave it in the comment section down below. If you guys like me, my personality, or the content I put right up on YouTube, then feel totally free to subscribe to this channel. I am very much a beauty and student lifestyle influencer, and I love posting vlogs, makeup reviews, hauls, rating new releases, you know, all of that. Okay, so if any of that sounds interesting to you, I think you should subscribe. The button's right here. Thank you guys again so much for watching this video, and I will see you in my next video, or else your eyeshadow will be cursed for the next 3 years. Welcome to spooky season. Actually, when I post this, Halloween already passed, but you know, that tells you how early I am. Purr.